Can you give a big round of applause for Mrs. Ribchinsky and her amazing musician and storytelling skills?
Excited to be here and see you all and tell you this really, really cool story. And I want you to understand that we're really going to talk a little bit about all the instruments too that you see on the stage. So are you guys ready? Does anybody know what these instruments are? Just say what they are. Okay, great. I guess we all know. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, this is a cello, right? This is a cello. This is a violin, right? Behind me, with its hand is the biggest one, a double bass, right? And then there's also a viola back there, which I'll show you all as we go along with our story. Okay, so hopefully you can see me. It might be good. Do you have to leave the center aisle? Because if they can't see. Can you guys all see me over there? You're okay? All right, so we'll just go ahead. So, deep in the woods and in the mountains of Italy, there lived a wood carver and his wife. They were pretty lonely. They always wanted to have children, but sadly they never got to have them. So one night there was a big blizzard with lots of wind and rustling about and knocking of the trees. And the woman, the mother, the wife looked out the window, and there, lo and behold, there was a beautiful young girl dancing around the yard in front of their cabin. She was having a great old time, but it was still blizzarding out. So the wife said, "This cannot be. She can't be out there in the freezing cold." So she went outside and she said, "Hello, hello. Would you like to have some soup? Are you hungry?" And the little girl said, "Oh, yes, I'm extremely hungry. I would love to come in and have some soup." So she came into the house and she was carrying a case like this. So she goes into the house and she meets the wood carver, and he says, "What do you have in that case?" And she said, "Well, it's a violin, but there's a big, huge problem. It doesn't sing. It can't sing, and it's under a spell, and I'm under a spell, and my spell is really, really sad." She was very sad. She said, "What'll happen is I can't come inside for too long because I'll start to melt. And I can never be a real girl. I'm always going to be cold and frozen. I'm so sad." She started to cry. Really sad. She said, "There is something we can do. If I can take my violin to Mr. Stradivarius in Cremona, Italy, he might be able to breathe life into my violin, and that would break my magic spell, and I could become a real girl. So I need to get to Mr. Stradivarius." Can you all say that name? Wait a minute, I'm going to say it slow first. Stradivarius. Exactly. And so Mr. Stradivarius was world famous for fixing all instruments that were strings: violins, violas, cellos, and basses. So she said, I think we better get going. So the next morning, the sun was out, and it was just beautiful and warm, but that wasn't a good thing for the snow maiden, because that meant she might melt. She's got to hurry up and get to and get to Cremona, Italy. So, the woodcarver checked his GPS, and the wife packed a big lunch, and off the beautiful snow maiden went to go to Cremona, Italy, to try to fix her violin and break her spell. So she starts out, going to Cremona, Italy, and she first comes upon a very tiny tree that was shaking. And she said to the tree, "What's the matter with you?" And the tree said, I need a big hug. I need a little hug because I'm a little tree. So can we all do a little hug that might be good for a little tree? Can we all do that? Can we all give the tree a hug? Pretend you're a little tree. Okay, so she does that, and out pops the violin, because violins are made of wood, and wood comes from trees, right? So the violin said, "Please, I can't sing. Can you take me to Cremona, Italy too?" And so the snow maiden said, "I think we have room for you. You can come with me. I packed a lunch, enough for you too. So let's go. We're off to go to Cremona." Right? Do you know where that tune comes from? Well, Italy, yeah. Okay. Have you ever saw the movie Wizard of Oz? How many people see the Wizard of Oz? Okay, a couple of you. Yeah, so that's where that tune comes from. So they keep going, and they meet another tree that's shaking. This tree is a little bit bigger, maybe about this big. So can you try to hug about this big? Make a little space. Right? It's about this big a tree. And after the big hug, out pops a bigger violin, but it's really called a viola. A viola. In fact, Mrs. Stevenson, who teaches stringed instruments here, and she's going to start teaching you guys when you get to second grade? Third grade. I keep on mixing it up. Third grade. That's not too far away. You can start to learn one of these instruments. And this is her viola, and it's very, very, very special. You can see that it's a little bit bigger than a violin, isn't it? Can you all see that? And it's going to actually have a little bit different sound, which we'll get to in a minute. But I was looking inside this viola, and there's a little card inside, a label, and it says Stradivarius. So this Mr. Stradivarius must have made this viola. That is super cool. Okay, so a little further on, so yes, the viola started going with them, and they were going off to see Mr., can we say the word, the name of the guy? One more time. Stradivarius. And just a little bit while later, it was starting to get really getting dark and getting cold and getting dark, and they had to hurry up, but they did need one more big tree. And this was the biggest tree, so I wanted to see the hug that's really, really big. Really, really, really big. Okay, so there, out pops a... What's this one? The biggest one? No. A bass. And let's see. Now this, you have to know that this bass, it's still bigger than my cello, I think. Let's check it out. Let's compare. But the thing is, my cello is a full-size cello for a totally grown-up person like me. And the bass is a smaller bass for kids to play. So they look about, well, I guess it's still bigger, isn't it? But the difference is going to be in how it sounds, which we'll hear in just a minute. So yes, Mr. Bass and Mr. Viola, Mr. Cello, and Mr. Violin all went to Cremona, and they got there just at dusk, and they knocked on Mr. Stradivarius's door. Mr. Stradivarius, right? Mr. Stradivarius, please fix our instruments. So he did. Well, he started. He said, I don't know. This is a lot to do. I don't know if I can fix your instruments and break the spell, but I'm going to really try. So he started with the violin. And he looked at it, he looked it over, he looked at the bridge, he looked at the tailpiece and the fingerboard and this beautiful scroll, and he looked at the F holes where the sound comes up, and he said, I think I just have to get some air in there. So he breathed some life in it, and he said, now we need something called a bow, right? This is a bow, and it has hair on it made from horses' tails, and he said, I think maybe this will work. It's really working, isn't it? It's starting to sing. You can sing along if you want. Twinkle. Yes, now the violin works. Oh, I don't know. Let's see if the other instruments can work too. I think what's next? What's the next bigger one? Not yet cello. What's this one? Viola. Let's see if we can get the viola to sing. He's going to do the same thing. He's going to look it all over, make sure everything's right, read some, and now we're going to try and see if we... Oh, I don't know if this viola's going to work. Did anybody just have a birthday? Who just had a birthday? Who's going to have a birthday pretty soon? Okay, so you're either just had a birthday or you're going to have one pretty soon, right? So that means we all have birthdays. Let's try it one more time. Let's sing happy birthday to ourselves. Right, and remember that this is the viola that Mr. Stradivarius made. Remember, say that name one more time. Stradivarius. Very good. Lastly, now we're getting to the bigger guys, right? And let's see if Mr. Stradivarius can fix the cello. Well, I guess you guys already know that the cello sang before, so let's just dust it off. Okay, let's see if the cello can sing something really beautiful. Oh, I think it's fixed. I think it's fixed, yes. Okay, we only have one more. The big one. Oh, yeah. I think maybe we'll come down here to the big one. Let's see. All the wipers on the bus go swish. That's the double bass. Sometimes we hear the bass in jazz, right? When it plays pizzicato. Right? Can you hear it? So that's pizzicato or plucking the bass, right? Lots of times the bass is that. All right, so now I think we fixed all the instruments, and I think that the snow maiden is now never going to melt. And I think the snow maiden is a happy little girl now, and I think what she decided to do is go back and live with the woodcarver happily ever after. And I have one more song to play that she really liked when she was a snow maiden. This is one of her favorite songs, but I'm not sure she likes it anymore. But here it is. Yes. What? Stand up. Well, that one I'm not sure. I'm not sure about. I've been trying to research the story a little bit. Some evil witch, I think, put a spell on her, and that's what happened. It was probably an evil witch. But it's gone, and she's all happy now. Do you have a question? Wow. That's really exciting. Go ahead. Go ahead, miss. You have a blue shirt on. Kind of a blue shirt. Yeah. I'm looking right at you. But loud. As loud as your big voice. Why is this one so big? That's a great question. This one's because it's lower in sound than a violin, which is smaller. So it's higher pitched, right? The higher notes. Can you make your voice go really high? Not loud. I didn't say loud. Wait a minute. I didn't say loud. I said high. Make it go high but soft. Make it go low, but very soft. Okay. So that's what the instruments do, high and low. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Any other? Go ahead with the butterfly. But everyone has to be quiet to listen. What's that? She's beautiful. She's pretty. She's pretty, and she has a pretty dress on, and she was dancing around in the snow. I don't know. I've got to research that one too. I don't know. I have to. Her dress was beautiful. Really, it was the colors of your shirt, pink and the color of the shirt. Okay, question.
Stand up. So we can hear you.
That's the only reason you're standing. I have to